Okay, this is weird. So we're doing a re-review. We have this because we got part separation we gotta do when we transform him. This is the Legacy Lyle Convoy, and he's good, but he has problems. So to start off with, and this, sorry about that. It looks nice, but the back we show the problems, and as you can see, he's very heavily paint chipped. That's because, as I'll show right here, how thin his paint is. I didn't even try and do that. I rubbed my finger on there and I chipped like that. It's horrible the paint chipping on him. But let's transform him. Actually, no, let's go his articulation first. His mouth can open up. His head has no movement at all. He has cool weapon storage, just by the way he can fold back up, which also clips on those and chips the paint even more. Wonderful. Typical leg articulation, there's no outward movement on these. Well, it technically is, but it untabs itself. And a bottom that doesn't stay in very well. But you have a little swivel on a mushroom bag, and the leg articulation on the back is it's pretty good. There's no forward movement at all due to how it is. But you have feet articulation and a swivel. So he's kind of alright. Also his tail's on it. You can rotate it up and down. Let's transform this piece of shit. So I'm calling him that because he is. So you kind of shake the head a little bit, and then detach the sides at the front of him. And it looks like spaghetti, but don't worry, it gets better. Basically just push out the back part there, and push that part off. Fold the tail in, and rotate. I know why you may be asking, this looks kind of weird how I'm transforming him. And it is, but this is the way I do it because he actually is tolerable to transform like this. He's not really the best transforming figure of Legacy, but he's alright. For a Voyager, he's pretty complex, but he's overliked for a Voyager. He gets very overglazed. It's kind of good that he's overglazed, but also it's kind of bad that he is because he has problems. His paint chipping is atrocious. But the end result is a very nice looking Prime that is ruined by his god awful paint chipping. Every single part of him that's painted on him has chipped. We have paint chipping here. We have paint chipping here. We have paint chipping on the top of his head, all around his head. We have it on his back part, right there. We have it on his legs. It's absolutely horrible right there. That is so thin, that paint. It is chipped every bit of it. And yeah, the paint chipping is a problem with him. It's a widespread problem with him, and it needs to be fixed. Onto his articulation. His articulation is, well, looks pretty good. He has a thigh swivel, ankle swivel, ankle tilt. Uh, the spurs can go up and down. And, I mean, his hips are on universals. You go that far back, far forward. A not 90 degree, well, about a 45 on his knees, which is good. He also has a waist swivel, which is amazing. That's always liked. His head's on a ball joint. Can go side to side. So look up and down, and do the transformation. You can look a little bit further down, and you can look up a decent amount. So that's pretty cool. He has no wrist swivel, none of that. But I mean, his arms are on universals, which is cool. So, you know, they get the full 360 and mushroom peg. His elbows aren't really the best. And his hand untaps frequently. But, you know, it's just standard articulation for him. Yes, he lacks wrist swivels, which is tragic. And he does pose alright. Actually, let's give him his poses. So he poses pretty well. He's not the most stable, as falls over easily because his feet are kind of weirdly designed. But actually, the transformation. Also, because he has to be accurate to his lion mode. Anyways, I'm on the part of paint chipping on him, which I'm going to go over again because it's just not good. Right here is how you open up the matrix chamber on him. You have to get your finger in there, pull at it. That's entirely chipped off all the paint right there. Bruh. His weapon storage, at least, is pretty cool. He has 2 blasters hiding back there on his back. Turn it around. Gonna store his missiles as I drop it immediately. Come on. And you can tab it in right there. And that can stay in there in beast mode as well, which is pretty good. He's all around. People say he's the best Voyager of his line. I wouldn't really consider him to be the best Voyager. I'm still going to say Bulkhead is, because that's just a better Voyager in general. I know that's heresy to say that, but he poses better. All around, if you are going to get him, I'd get him on clearance. He isn't really the most worth his price, $50, but go for it if you want. Also, his Evo Fusion, which we can't forget it. You fold up the claws, and you fold out those claws. Get the missiles, and you tab them in. Come on. You know, they go in easily when I'm not recording, but whenever I am recording them, they don't like to stay in. This is the 3rd take I've done on this. And yeah, they kind of just tab in like that, which is cool. He gets a solid 7 out of 10. I would have gave him an 8 when I first got him. That was 5 months ago. And he just... the paint... it ruins it. The paint chipping, it's so bad. It is awful, the paint chipping. I can't stress enough how bad the paint chipping is on him.